Steven, remember when I picked the Minnesota Twins to win the AL Central and you laughed in my
Yeah.
face?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
What do you guys say now?
I got nothing to say. Except you got lucky. Can you name a Twins player?
Carlos Correa.
All right. Can you name another Twin?
Nope.
Okay. All right. Good deal.
That's all I need to know, baby. The
Man.
man the Giants and Mets passed on took his team all the way to the playoffs.
Well,
and
that's
probably
the
will
thing
lose
is
to the Astros.
he didn't even take them to the playoffs. His teammates did a majority of the work. He didn't have that great of a season, and that's why like Giants and Mets fans were feeling okay about the move. But then you realize, oh, October baseball. That's where this dude really thrives. And game one of that series. God, who was it against? Why am I blanking on that?
Oh, Blue Jays.
Yeah. Game one again in that series. Obviously, he had that huge play to make that throw to home to get Bichette, I think, who was running home, and then that pickoff at second. Oh God, he just knows how to win, man. I don't even know if the Giants would have been the right fit for him. Maybe it was best for him just to stay in Minnesota.
Just your opinion, man. Stephen Lang for Derek Papa. We will talk a little bit of baseball, even though I know Giants fans are a little tormented right now because you got Carlos Correa in the postseason, you got Dusty Baker in the postseason, and you got Bruce Bochy in the postseason. But we'll get to baseball in a little bit here. If I seem distracted and a little angry, it's because my team, Texas, is down 27-20 with about 11 minutes to go, and they just got denied on the goal line. And running out of time here, and there's no team I hate to lose to more than Oklahoma. So, shit.
Yeah, tough deal.
If I see a little cranky, you'll know why.
It's a tough Saturday morning for you.
Yeah, Steven, especially when these games are on at 9 a.m. I got to shake off the hangover and focus.
Yeah, I wasn't hungover this morning.
I was.
You were?
Yeah, went out last night. Saw Mr. Jim Jeffries in Oakland. Hilarious comedian. We need more comedy, everybody. I know that things are changing for the better. I'm all about that, but I think a lot of people are uptight about certain things, and I think we need more just free comedy.
Yeah, well, join the club in that.
Yeah, I know.
Like everybody's sensitive nowadays to certain topics.
I know, but I watched Ari Schaefer's special on YouTube the other day, Jew. I still need to watch Shane Gillis. We just need more comedy. Just need more comedy in movies too. I feel like there hasn't been like a good comedy movie in a long time because I think people are weary about what they can joke about these days. But just go for it, everybody.
There hasn't been anything creative as far as comedy movies. Like it has to have some sort of drama intent behind it. We can't just make anything stupid anymore.
Like that that Jennifer Lawrence movie that came out this last summer?
Yes.
Where she's, I guess, trying to have sex with a young kid before he goes to college. Premise is very old school, but I appreciate it because, I don't know, sometimes it's just a movie.
No, it's good. It's good. They found someone on Craigslist who literally was searching for someone to have sex with their son.
So it's based on a true story.
It's based on something they found on Craigslist, and they just decided to make a movie out of it. Kind of fell flat to me. Wasn't that funny, but...
You didn't see it? Or you saw it?
We saw it in theaters, yeah.
Just okay?
Yeah, it was decent. Gave you a couple of laughs, but...
I give it an A for effort because I like the I guess the idea to just push forward with something, even though I know a lot of people are going to be upset with the premise.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we do need more of that. Just take more chances, people, instead of just going for this, I don't know, old remake of something or a biopic. It's just the same old stuff.
I agree. So you are into October baseball. I am as well. Good time for the playoffs, but obviously it gets a little sidetracked with football going on, and we got basketball coming up in a couple weeks here. There'll be a glorious end of October where we get a little bit of World Series action. They get NFL, and then you got the start of the NBA season.
Yeah.
But Steven, real quick, who do you see going to the World Series right now with the teams that are in it?
I got Texas. Going to this one. I just think the magic of Bruce Bochy. I think he's going to bring them back. They've been dominating all year. The Astros kind of made a late surge, and then the Rangers were kind of in a heat with the Mariners, and they didn't have anybody pop at the end of the year. But I think they could take this one. And if they get Max Scherzer back, if they make it past the Orioles and they get Max Scherzer back in the ALCS,
Year?
huh?
Is it Scherzer out for the year?
No, I thought he was just out for the divisional series, at least for now.
I guess I'm wrong about that.
I could be.
Shit.
I could be the one that's wrong.
I thought I read that he's out for the year.
I could be very wrong on that.
All right. I don't see anybody beating the Braves. I like Bochy. I think it's an interesting story. His first year with Texas. Got to make a lot of Giants fans kind of question what's going on now while they look for a manager and he's in the postseason. Nevertheless, I see him getting past the Orioles. I see the Astros beating the Twins. I see the Braves beating the Phillies, and I see the Dodgers beating the D-backs. Then we got a Dodgers, Braves, NLCS. And we think we've had that 3 of the last 4 years. And then the Astros are in the ALCS every fucking year. They'll take on the Rangers. And I think it's just a little too early for the Rangers. So I'm going to say it's an Astros-Braves World Series, and I got the Braves winning it.
I wonder if the Braves pitching can hold up. Obviously, their offense is just one of the best that the baseball's ever seen, actually. Their offense is. But I wonder if the pitching can hold up.
We shall see. And sorry, every second I'm looking up, and Texas is allowing this Oklahoma quarterback to just get big runs. We're never back, Steven. Everyone says we're back, and we never are.
Wasn't it? Who was the quarterback who said that? We're back.
Sam Ellinger.
Sam Ellinger. That's right. And you guys have sucked since.
That was way too well. We sucked before that. It was way too premature. Terrible.
Well, how's Quincy Ewers though? Where's he gonna go? Is he an NFL ready quarterback?
This is the only time I get to talk Texas football on here. Quinn Ewers is not anything special. That's why they got Arch Manning.
Oh yeah.
And I wonder about whether or not the people have raved about him, but I guess he's got a red shirt this year. Ewers looked amazing in that Alabama game. And then he has games like today where he just looks lost. He has moments where he looks like he could be a first-round NFL quarterback, and then there's moments where, like, what are you doing, dude? He's turnover prone. I don't think he's a guy in the NFL next level. He's got to work on a lot of things. I don't see him being like a first-round pick in the discussion next year. That's my opinion. Man.
Interesting.
Anyway, let's talk about some football. Thursday night game, real quick. Good for the Bears. They had to win that game. I thought that if they lost that game, Matt Eberflus possibly gets axed. But they survive. He survived the whole week of that was an incredible media session where he was bombarded with questions about Chase Claypool.
Yeah.
And one after the other was like, so did you tell him to go home? No, we didn't tell him to go home. Then how do you know he to go home before the inactives? Listen, I don't know what's going on here. It was in the end they trade Chase Claypool to the Dolphins. But DJ Moore finally used properly, 3 touchdowns, over 200 yards. If you benched him like Tom Tolbert, you're probably kicking yourself. But yeah, just what the Bears should be and kind of what we expected with the Commies getting their ass kicked 40-20, at least what I thought from the Commanders this season.
I thought Justin Fields, well, I don't even know what to make of Fields in this because it just felt like DJ Moore was wide open in the first half consistently, and there's nothing the Commanders could do to stop it. I'm not going to look at this game and think, oh, I've changed my opinion on these two teams. No, they're kind of who I thought they were. Bears, they could score. There's no question that they could score, especially against subpar defenses. I think they have a really tough schedule coming up soon, so they needed to get this win out the way. I'm still a Fields believer though. Like it feels like everyone's kind of falling out of favor with him. You know, it's just like Justin Fields isn't the guy with the Bears. That may be true, but I still think that he could be a damn good NFL starter somewhere. I don't know if it's with the Bears, but somewhere because he flashes so much talent, and there's times in that game where that defensive line got to him, like Daron Payne. I remember there was one where he just completely missed on a tackle and somehow Fields broke out of it and uses his legs. It's just, if he can stay calm in the pocket and stay poised, he might be actually be able to make something of his career moving forward. But the Bears are just all a mess. Everything's a mess with that organization right now. And then on top of that, you had Dick Butkus passing too, which was just some sad news.
Yeah, that on the day of the game.
Yeah.
So maybe that motivated the Bears. Who knows? But Yeah, Dick Butkus, one of the giants in NFL history, said here about him passing. You just see his highlights. If you're a fan of NFL history and NFL films, you know the image of him with the bloody knuckles. Just an all around badass. And the craziest thing is, he was drafted in the same draft class as Gale Sayers. They both played 9 seasons together. They never made the playoffs.
It's crazy.
That is crazy. Some news in the NFL today. Jonathan Taylor, after all the huffing and puffing and whatever happened this offseason, where he wanted to get traded, Jim Irsay is saying, everybody will die and we'll still be here. To if questioning whether or not he's actually hurt, being on the pup list, to him almost getting traded, then not getting traded. He got back with the Colts this week, said he's happy to be there. It's not about what happened in the past. It's about being a Colt right now. Said all the right things, and bygones are bygones. They are friends again because the Colts signed Jonathan Taylor this morning to a 3-year, $42 million deal with $26 million guaranteed. He makes $14 million a year, I believe now, if I'm not mistaken. I haven't looked at the updated numbers. But Christian McCaffrey still makes the most money at $16 million.
Yeah.
But I want to say Jonathan Taylor is a close number 2, or maybe a number 3 behind somebody else. I'm not sure.
I got it pulled up right here. You're talking what, on average or total average?
Yearly average.
Kamara's above him. Kamara's
15.
making 15.
Okay.
Derrick Henry making 12.5.
Well, I mean, hey, it's interesting because I don't know what the game. I mean, like in the end, the Colts got what they wanted. The Jonathan Taylor got what he wanted, but the whole process seemed like a whole clusterfuck to me. So good for Jonathan Taylor getting his deal, but the whole thing was weird, and I don't know what the philosophy is with signing running backs now. I really don't. Some teams value it, obviously, like the 49ers and Colts, and some teams. We'll see what happens with Josh Jacobs in the offseason, or Saquon Barkley, maybe, or Austin Eckler. Maybe it's because the injuries have played a factor with some of these guys this season that maybe they don't get the big contracts. I don't know. I think it just depends on the team at this point.
So I'm not asking because I'm not expecting you to know the answer to this question.
I might.
But with these running back contracts, the first thing that I learned was that there's apparently a deadline for when you can extend these players. So what happened to that? Is there just like a long-term window that opens up again? I thought like you had to meet a certain deadline to give a long-term deal. So why could they just pay Jonathan Taylor now?
Well, that was the case with Josh Jacobs and Saquon Barkley, but not Jonathan Taylor because
because of the franchise tag.
Yeah, because he's on the franchise tag.
Okay.
See, I answered your question.
Okay, good call. Good call. Well, much deserved there. Jacobs probably kicking himself a little bit, but I don't think he would have gotten the same sort of deal had he just continued to hold out. He would have just kept on losing money. They were in different situations. And 12 million just doesn't feel like enough. Just
for Josh Jacobs?
No, like for running backs in general, knowing the going rate of all these other players and like tight ends, they're making upwards of 15, 16 million a year at the top end of the market. Obviously, quarterbacks are making what they're making. Wide receivers are making upwards of 18 to 20 million if you're good. I don't know. It just feels like they're still underpaid, even though it's a $12 million per year deal.
I would say for the Colts, you can get away with this because Anthony Richardson is on a rookie deal, where the Raiders have to pay Jimmy Garoppolo and Devontae Adams the highest paid wide receiver in football.
Right.
They pay Max Crosby. You wonder, what's the priority there? But then you're like, well, we can't give Josh Jacobs as much. My argument, though, is, do you give Saquon Barkley and Josh Jacobs that money right now? Because both of them don't look very good this season.
I think you could blame it on the offensive lines. So I don't really view them individually. I view that more as the fault of the Giants offensive line, which has been one of the worst in football. And then the Raiders offensive line just has looked lost. So I don't know. I'll just I'll flat out answer. I don't know, because the offensive line stink for both their teams and they're not doing anything to help them.
No, that's true. Yeah, I don't know either, Steven. I don't know what's the smart move anymore?
Right. Because
Obviously,
it's like because like you want to pay them, sure. It's like of course you'd love to, but then you got to beef up that offensive line. And what's one of the highest paid positions in football? Tackle. And
yep.
they're already paying Colton Miller whatever they're paying him. Their right tackle, Jermaine or Luminor, is not going to be doing anything. Andrew Thomas on the Giants has been hurt a lot of this year, but he's their star guy. I don't even know who's at right tackle for them, but
Evan Neal.
oh,
Oh,
that's right, Evan
we'll
Neal.
get to his fat ass later. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. We'll play audio. You'll understand later. I'm not calling Evan Neal fat. There's a whole story behind it. Relax.
So, you know what? I guess the answer would be maybe they're just too late because you got to build that offensive line first before you can see the true value of the running back. And then once you build that offensive line and you feel like you've got some stability there, that's when you can pay the other player. You build around the trenches,
Yeah.
and the Raiders haven't done that. The Giants actually have done that a little bit, just not with their offensive line. So,
Speaking of trenches, the 49ers made an addition to somebody that's going to be in their trenches,
yeah.
Randy Gregory. So I was under the assumption that Randy Gregory was already released
Right.
because there was a whole falling out with Sean Payton earlier this week. He was a healthy scratch for the game against the Chicago Bears. Nick Benito and Jonathan Cooper were the guys making plays in that game. And didn't seem like there was a place for Randy Gregory. So the report was going to be that he was going to get cut by the Denver Broncos to be a free agent. Then yesterday, when the Niners and Cowboys are getting ready to face off against each other, Randy Gregory is traded to the Denver Broncos, or from the Denver Broncos to the 49ers, and basically cost them next to nothing. The Niners definitely value seventh round picks, obviously, with their quarterback being Brock Purdy, but that's all they had to give up. I believe it was Randy Gregory and a sixth round pick go to the Niners, and the Niners give up a seventh round pick. Or it was a seventh round pick for the whatever it was, sixth round pick, seventh round pick were exchanged. The big deal is that he did sign a kind of a big contract with the Broncos. He was due $14 million this year, and kind of similar when the Broncos traded away Von Miller to the Rams, and the Rams didn't have to pay any of the salary. It's the same deal with the Niners. Niners, I think, have $41 million of cap space right now. They didn't have to pay anything on this. They pay the vet minimum for Randy Gregory, 840,000, and the Broncos take on the rest of the contract of $14 million. That's incredible. That's a good deal. Um, and it helps them this week. Actually, you know what? I don't know if Randy Gregory actually is going to play this week because
He's not playing this week. That was already confirmed.
yeah, well, he kind of went like a back and forth with Mayoko, but yeah, I guess he's going to be in the building on Monday, so he will not be there against the Cowboys, which would have helped because Randy Gregory has made a presence with the Dallas Cowboys. Obviously, in the past, had some issues with. I hate even saying issues because it's not really issues. Just the guy liked to smoke weed, and it was against the drug policy back in the day, and that's why he never got to play. But I think Randy Gregory has changed his ways for the most part, even though he was going to get a deal done with the Cowboys. And in the chance that he was going to get suspended again, the Cowboys had something in the contract. He refused, went to Denver where he could smoke weed all the time, and then he gets cut. Now he's going to the Niners to help out that defensive line, probably pass rush situations where Drake Jackson's off the field, if Cleveland Farrell's off the field. I think it's a good move. But they could have done better, maybe. I'll get to that in a little bit here. But, Steven, what'd you think of the move?
Well, now I just want to know how they could have done better.
I asked you earlier this season, could they have traded for a guy like Ty Game? Fuck yeah. Could they have traded for a guy like Chase Young or Montez Sweat or Daniil Hunter? Now, the big thing about Randy Gregory is they didn't have to pay anything, next to nothing, and they have all this cap space. So this doesn't really take them away from making a move for the future. But when you see Randy Gregory, he's kind of older. He can definitely help out that defensive line. But every time the Commanders lose, I'm thinking about, are they going to trade away Chase Young because they don't have a deal for him next season? He's on his expiring rookie contract. Montez Sweat. Daniil Hunter's getting paid $10 million this year on a one-year deal with the Vikings. $10 million is not a lot of money, honestly, when you have $40 million in cap space. I don't know. They still can make a move here, but I think it's a good move, but they may actually be able to do a better move.
Maybe. I looked at it and I saw like the Broncos were just looking to get rid of this guy and the 49ers capitalized on the opportunity. Like they didn't there's no real like this doesn't there's no signification there's no signal that like oh they don't trust Jake Jackson or the defensive line that they have. No, they just saw an opportunity and they took it. It's a totally low risk move. I don't like calling things low risk high reward because high reward insinuates that they're actually going to get something out of him. I don't know what Randy Gregory has left. Like you mentioned, he's 30 years old. Sure, he can get to the quarterback in certain situations, but really when he's played his best, that's when he's a starter on a team. For like when he was the starter with the Cowboys, his best years were in 2018 and 2019, and that's when he could start every game. Like, is he a type that you could just plug and play? I mean, and just hope that he gets a sack every now and then, maybe in third and long situations where you need a pass rush and you know that it's going to be a passing play. I don't know, but I think anytime a team can take a low risk move on a player like this, a former first round pick, why not?
No, I'm with you, Steven. I think that it really doesn't, hurt them at all. It's why wouldn't you do it? Broncos are taking on all the salary. I just think they could get somebody better in time. Randy Gregory's fine.
Oh, wait, he was a second rounder. My bad. Apologies.
But he, obviously a seasoned vet, could play opposite Nick Bosa. Never got like double-digit sacks, I think, in a season. But then again, he was kind of missing a lot of time. So unless something happens, knock on wood, but at this point in his career, there hasn't been anything in recent years that would suggest that. So that's unfair for me to even bring up. But there really was no risk here. So I say, what's the harm in this?
Yeah,
It's a good move, and there's an opportunity for them to maybe, they still got $40 million left of cap space. They could still make more moves if they wish to do at the trade deadline. Other moves made this week. J.C. Jackson.
Real quick. Can I just say something that's really interesting here? Sorry, I just looked this up. But the 2015 draft, where Randy Gregory was drafted, how many players in the top 12 do you think are playing still in the NFL from the 2015 draft?
Probably not a lot. The two quarterbacks still are Jameis Winston and Marcus Mariota. You talking about? Sorry, how many players? Is there like a?
I'll just tell you, half of them in the top 12.
In the top 12 of the first round.
Yeah, Kevin White, Vic Beasley, Eric Flowers, Todd Gurley, Trey Waynes, Danny Shelton. Damn.
Danny Shelton's out of football?
Yeah. They're not even playing anymore. That's crazy. God, what a crappy draft.
Yeah, in hindsight.
Anyway, actually, well, they got Eric Armstead from there. Eric Armstead's still thriving. You could probably argue that he's the best of the bunch in the first round from there, still going. Wow. Anyway, sorry. I don't know. Maybe it just feels like 2015 wasn't that long ago.
No, I'm with you, Steven. It's only 8 years ago, and you expect guys to have long, fulfilling careers, but
yeah,
that's what happens sometimes. You think these guys are going to pan out on us? They play on Saturdays, and they're going to pan out playing on Sundays. Speaking of which, we got crazy action going on right now. Texas and Oklahoma's tied. And I think LSU had a huge comeback, and they're up 42-39 with like 2 minutes left. Crazy.
Well, I had the multi-view on, and they
what's your 4-box right now?
They gave me Pat McAfee.
I just realized I got that too. Shit.
It's like It's awful. I don't need that. That's a terrible. See, this is why we need to be able to make our own combinations.
Yeah, I texted you last weekend. ESPN Plus, or the ESPN app, allows you to have a 4-box of your choosing. So whatever executive at YouTube said that can't be done, it can be done. Get your nerds cracking on it. Come on. Yeah, I would never watch, even though, I don't mind McConaughey's analysis of UT football sometimes. It actually makes me laugh. I don't need to hear a simulcast of McAfee.
Yeah, kind of old.
Yeah. God damn it. Yeah, I need to get off of this because this is bothering me. Sorry.
All right. That's okay.
No, I can't have the game in the corner and McAfee and his goons as the forefront. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
All right. J.C. Jackson, big deal, big contract with the Chargers. It went back to McAfee. God damn it. J.C. Jackson signed a huge contract with the Chargers, but he's never it just they haven't got their return on investment. He's looked terrible with the Chargers, and with the injury to Christian Gonzalez for the Patriots, uh, Bill was just like, might as well just bring him back. And the same deal with Randy Gregory. The Chargers are paying the full salary this year, and the Patriots just bring him back to use him in a scheme. Doesn't hurt the Patriots at all. Doesn't hurt the Chargers at all. They weren't even playing him, so makes sense. I don't think it's that big of a deal, to be honest.
That's what I'm thinking about all these deals. Like they're deals, but they're nothing that really changes too much. Like Christian Gonzalez, I know JC Jackson was a defensive player of the year, but Christian Gonzalez was, I think he's got much more upside. And JC Jackson, he's just one of those players now that's just hurt too much. Missed a lot of the 2022 season with an ankle injury. And then, or at least last year, missed a lot of it with an ankle injury, and then ended it with like a patellar tendon, which kept him out of the season. And then this year just hasn't found his way onto the field. So I don't know. It's another low risk move. It's funny that Belichick's just like, all right, we'll bring him back. Yeah, whatever. And then
you best believe I wasn't going to pay him that money, but I'll take him back.
Yeah. So kind of feel bad for him, but whatever. Woo.
You all right?
Yeah, I'm all good.
And then the Dolphins with Chase Claypool, there really is no risk there either, unless he's just a cancer to the locker room. But Mike McDaniel pretty much said, well, we got him because he's fast. What do you want me to tell you? So
he's like, I'll say what you guys want me to say. He's fast. Yes, he's fast.
They also need a big body receiver. A lot of their guys are small guys. You saw it last week against the Bills. They got bodied a little bit, even though Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle are shifty wide receivers. They don't really have a big red zone threat on the team. So maybe Chase Claypool can help in that regard. But he needs to have. I saw the video clip of the other day from Dov Kleiman, even though he's that guy. Dan Graziano, thank you for calling him out the other day, where he had some erroneous report about Kyler Murray is not going to be part of the Arizona Cardinals plans. Thank you for calling him out for that being taken out of context. There is a clip though of Chase Claypool, I think on the Pivot or whatever podcast back in the day with Brandon Marshall, where he's like, I'm a top 3 wide receiver, and all of them are like, oh snap, all right, you talk your shit, and he is nothing like that. I thought he was going to be amazing his rookie year with the Steelers, and he has been at times, but ever since he signaled for first down when he was like having a drive with the Steelers against the Vikings and they were running out of time, I am not really high on the guy.
Yeah. From there, it's been all downhill. It's kind of like with Juju Smith-Schuster starting to make TikToks.
Yep.
It's like, okay, let's just end this. This guy's clearly not in it for the right reasons. He's in it for himself. He's more interested in the name on the back of the jersey than the one on the front. So it's a low risk. It's the same thing as the 49ers. It's a totally low risk move. Maybe they'll get something out of him, or Chase Claypool will just be like one of these guys in 2015 and just out the league.
Yep, we shall see. All right, should we pick some of these games, Steven?
Ooh, are you just going for picks right away?
Well, I mean, got everything we need to knock out there.
All right.
Oh, you know what? I haven't asked you yet because this happened last week when we ended the podcast. Your quick thoughts. Chandler Jones released.
Oh, I mean, it happened right after.
No, I know, but I did like a 2-minute thing on it. I don't know. I mean, we expect this to happen. Any big reaction?
No, nothing major. Just I had to unfollow him on social media because it just gets more sad by the day. Yeah. And it's just like I can't take it anymore. Like they've released him. He seems to be in denial with that. So I mean, good riddance. Good Lord. Hope he gets help.
No, I agree. Ernie in the chat here says Warriors basketball, and I saw in our preview we were going to say basketball is back. Yeah. It's not back.
Yes,
preseason.
It is. How come you're allowed to say it when the NFL does it? You're like, NFL preseason's here. We do NFL's back.
Do you want me to tell you?
What?
We care more about football, dude.
You care more about football. You care more about football.
You're really going to watch preseason basketball?
Hell yeah. You kidding me?
God.
What?
I'm not watching a second of Warriors preseason.
Why not?
Because I can't get excited for that. I don't care.
Not interested in watching a little Brandon Pajemski, see how he fits in with the team, huh?
I do love the name, but no, I'm not interested right now.
Not interested in seeing the fit of Dario Saric and whether Moses Moody and Jonathan Kuminga have taken that next step. One time back in 2015, when the Warriors won their first championship, there was only one who said that the Warriors would win that year. And that one was Ethan Strauss, who was covering at the team at the time, because he said they were just so damn good in the preseason and so sound that you could tell that this team was going to be dominant through the regular season. And you know what? They did. And then they went on to win. So
That's your one example of why you should watch preseason basketball?
it was from 8 years ago, but yes.
I do remember that. I do remember that being on point, and I was like, this team may have something. And then yeah, they were incredible. But Steven, we don't even get up for NBA regular season games anymore. Why would we give a shit about preseason games?
Hey man, load management's gone away. It's automatically going to work. You know it's going to work. You know teams aren't going to find any loopholes at all to work work themselves around this new player participation policy.
Did you see Kawhi Leonard all pissed off?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. I'm with him because he definitely was hurt once upon a time.
Yeah, but
And honestly still is.
He's just thinking his time with the Raptors. But how about you talk about those times with the Spurs, buddy? Because it's Greg Popovich who really, you're the poster child for it. But we know that Greg Popovich is the one in the back, doing all the dirty work and making sure that this happens with you. So, I'm sure I take the Raptors season as an example, but you've been doing it since you were with the Spurs, man.
I think it's just a chronic thing he's gonna have to deal with the rest of his career. Because Bonte will tell you, we were watching him walk around after the Raptors beat the Warriors in the NBA Finals, and he had a significant limp. And
Yeah.
he still was playing great. He was MVP of that Finals, but something. I don't think Kawhi Leonard, especially with tearing his ACL a couple seasons ago, I don't think we're ever going to see the same Kawhi Leonard again. He's fine, but as far as him being, going to play 82 games a season, those days are over. So I know there's conspiracy theories. Him and Paul George. He's just hurt, and I think he's always going to be hurt, and he'll just find times where he could just get through it.
Yeah, I think he just hated being blamed too.
No, I mean that's fair. But yeah, I'm not watching a second of Warriors preseason. Sorry.
Oh, all right.
I'll watch opening night, and it sounds like, but Draymond Green having the ankle injury, sounds like it's very possible that Chris Paul is going to start the first couple of weeks, which will be interesting. But I'm glad that at Warriors Media Day he acknowledged that once upon a time he did come off the bench for Olympics basketball. So at least he's open to the idea of doing that. But it can't be a issue when it's time to come do it. Like if Chris Paul is going to start the first couple of games and then Draymond's good to go, then you go to the bench, and that's the deal.
Was there not a tint of excitement though for you when you hear Steph and Clay talking about him? I hearing them talk after they announced the WNBA expansion team. Shout out to WNBA Golden State. And I know Joe Lacob already declared that we're going to win within the first 5 years. We're going to win within the first 5 years. But the way they talk about him, man, I don't know, just how it's almost a seamless transition and that he's kind of studied them over the years. So he understands what they've put out there and kind of how to run their offense and what he needs to do. I don't know. I'm looking forward to it a little bit more than I originally was.
Can I be completely honest?
Yeah, of course you can.
I hope so. I don't get the same excitement I do for Warriors basketball like I did once upon a time. Maybe it's because they moved to Chase. Maybe because they've won their championships. But it just doesn't. When they were at the peak of their powers with Kevin Durant, or even before then when they had the 7-3-9 season, we were all gung-ho about every single game. And now, I don't know. It's just not the same feeling to me personally. But I mean, hey, we'll get more in depth with Warriors talk when the season's on the horizon. We got
season is on the horizon. Preseason.
No, but well, you know what I mean. The October 24th tip off against the Suns. That'll be when we get into it. But and even then, I'll get into it opening night, and then we got the in-season tournament, which I couldn't give a shit about. So,
I
don't know.
Can't wait for that.
Yep. By the way, Tom came up with a name for the WNBA team.
Oh yeah,
the Valkyries. What do you think of that?
Why?
Because it's a mythological creature. It represents a woman. It's good.
Wasn't Valkyrie also like something that had to do with World War II?
I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, there was a movie, Operation Valkyrie. Yeah, so I don't really think of a mythological creature. I think of Operation Valkyrie,
That killed the
where
Nazis. So it's all positive.
the
And
original.
by the way, yeah,
Hang
Marcus
on.
Thompson came on yesterday and said Tom did come up with that. There was plenty of people that came up with that name before them.
Why they call
I
it Valkyries? I don't know. That's too
I,
much.
I like the. Are they going for it on 4th and 4 here? God damn it, Sark! What are we doing? Oh boy! All right, I'll do a little play-by-play when we come back out of the timeout here. Or they're going to kick it. All right, hang on. I don't know. I like that the WNBA is getting a franchise in the Bay Area, but like I said before,
What's this affinity you have to Oakland?
I
You
live
just
here,
like,
Steven.
well, yeah, you lived there for like 6 months. So like, where, like, what's this? It's weird. It's weird. It's making you change your like whole opinion about something just because they're keeping Oakland out of it, so to speak, even
I
though
would
it's
go.
like a Bay Area thing.
I grew up, dude. Okay, well, first of all, I was born in Oakland. I was born in Oakland Hospital. I grew up in Alameda with my dad and mom when I was young. So I do have some affinity. My dad did the Oakland games. So what
Right.
do you ask? What are you talking about? What
But
affinity
you
I
also
have for
moved to
Oakland?
Texas.
Yeah, that's why I'm watching this 47-yard field goal right now. And it's good. All right. Got a minute and 18, Texas. Minute and 17. Let's play a little defense. All right. I don't know, dude.
And don't take it. Hey, the African American Sports and Entertainment Group still up and running for the Oakland area to at least get a sports team somewhere, at least in the WNBA. So it's not might not be the only WNBA team when it's all said and done in the Bay.
Yeah, but I would go to the games. I would like, dude. I just like I grew up going to the Coliseum, going to Oracle. I just want more excuses to go back. Like
I
I've
gotcha.
changed. I don't know if I've said this on the podcast. I've changed my stance. I'm going to go to more A's games. It's just I'm going to try to go get free tickets as much as possible, so I don't have to pay that owner. But I just want to enjoy.
Cody Elias on line one.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just looking for. Well, after you said that, now he's not going to give me any tickets. I'm just looking for to just hang on as much as possible before they leave.
All right.
And I think it would be nice just to have basketball at Oracle again.
Nah.
Yeah, I know you don't care.
I think it would be, but I'm just kind of over it now. It's been a few years, you know? I mean, I'd love it, but it just wouldn't be the same as it was back when it was Oracle, you know?
No,
Like
I did. Believe me, I know it wouldn't be the same, but just something.
yeah. All right.
All right.
I don't think the team name, I don't have anything creative. I actually think they're going to go with something boring because I tried this whole team name thing when Bay FC, the new soccer team, was going to make its debut and what they were going to call it. And they just called it Bay FC. I could see them just being called like the Golden State W's or something.
Yeah.
Even though the league's called the W. But I could see it just being a total
the Dubs.
Yeah, just something that has to do with the Bay. I don't know. I could be wrong, but I think it's just going to be like a relatively boring kind of all right.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll see. Good for the Bay Area and good for WNBA. All right, ready for some picks?
Oh, I'm so ready.
All right, let's do it. A little thing we call wins or wangs.
Oh, we gotta have you eat the hot sauce out of the spoon next time because you handled it too well with the pita chip.
You say that, but you didn't see me go to the bathroom immediately afterwards.
Oh, yeah. Were you okay? Actually, yeah. Were you okay?
I was fine. It was fine, but yeah, it's gonna make your stomach grumble a little bit. But as far as it being that hot, I did look it up. Apparently, the bomb Beyond Insanity is hotter than what I got.
Oh,
but I can't find a way to get it. like
it's not even on the shelves anymore.
Well, even they advertise for it on Hot Ones all the time, but you go to hedonist.com and it's not available. Huh. Kind of bullshit. If there's a way for me to find the bomb Beyond Insanity, I will get it, and I will try to do it when I can. In the meantime, I guess I'll just do The Last Dab, because that one, I guess, had more of an effect on me than Da Bomb Evolution. All right, here we go. First game on the docket for Sunday. We are actually tied up 2-2 from our picks on Thursday, both of us took the Commies to win, but we took a Bears cover and the over, so that's why we got our 2 points. As I watch, oh God, they got into field goal range. God damn it! All right,
Black
Jags.
on the play too.
Oh, fuck me. Shit. Are we gonna lose this game?
You might.
Anyway, Jags. 2 weeks in London. Where were they last week? Because I know they're playing at Tottenham Hotspur. So they were at Wembley last week.
I think they were playing at Tottenham last week, weren't they?
Oh, well, that's a benefit then. I want to say they were at Wembley. They just changed stadiums this week.
Oh, okay. All right, I could be wrong.
So the Jags, basically the home team for the London crowd, but they're going to be the visiting team against the Buffalo Bills. Bills may get Von Miller back tomorrow for the first time since Thanksgiving. The Bills are favored by 5.5, and the over/under is 48.5.
Give me the over. I got the Bills winning this game, but I'll take the Jags to cover. I think the Jags cover the number. I think it could be closer, but I think the Bills win ultimately. Give me the over.
Jesus, I'm on pins and needles here. All right. 2nd and goal, 30 seconds left. Do they have any timeouts? They don't. All right, I'm going to do a little play-by-play here for the podcast crowd. All right, 2nd and goal for Oklahoma on the 3-yard line. Oh, he's wide open. Touchdown. Son of a bitch.
Good call on that one,
Shit.
B-Rock.
Yeah. Thanks. Damn it.
Man, that sucks.
Texas is not back.
Oh,
Fuck.
they're not. Man, they're way gone. They're not back.
I was skeptical, even against us at number 3 after we beat Alabama. Fuck.
Oh, that's a shame for you. I'm sorry.
No, you told me before the podcast you hate Texas for some weird reason.
I don't have any reason to hate them. I just don't like seeing them win. They're like
Why?
the Yankees to me.
What? They don't even win as much as the Yankees.
I know.
All right. So you had Buffalo winning, you got the Jags covering, and you're taking the over?
Yeah.
You know, teams don't score that much when they go to London for whatever reason. It may just be the travel.
Yeah.
I'm going to take the Bills. I'm going to lay the points, but I'm going to have the under in this game. Because
Right.
the Jags offense hasn't been as point as we thought it was going to be.
Nah.
All right, then we got the Carolina Panthers at the Detroit Lions. The Lions sound like they're going to be without Amon-Ra St. Brown, maybe without Jahmyr Gibbs. They get back Jamison Williams. He's reinstated after his suspension from gambling, so he's going to play, but it may be too soon for him to get back in the action. The Lions are favored by 9.5, and the over/under is 44.
Yeah, that number's too big. I still think the Lions win because they've just been so good in the trenches, but I'll take the Panthers to cover. And in this one, I think it's going to be low scoring. So close. Yeah, just give me the under.
I am doing the same. With the guys that are out for the Lions, I think they'll still win the game, but I think it's going to be very low scoring, and their defense has stepped it up a little bit. The Panthers' defense is pretty good too, but they don't put it up any points. 15 seconds left. I don't think there's any chance for Quinn Ewers to come back in this game. But we'll see. Tennessee at the Indianapolis Colts. Titans are favored by 2.5, and the over/under is 43.
The Titans are that classic box of chocolates team. You never know what you're going to get with the Tennessee Titans. That's why they're 2-2. Both teams 2-2, but with this one, I'm taking the under and lay the points with Tennessee. Even if Jonathan Taylor makes his comeback, I think Tennessee's run defense has been one of the best in the NFL. I think they'll stifle that at least for a little bit. And I think I don't know. I don't see it with the Colts against this Titans defense. So give me the under, and I'll lay the points.
The Colts have always have the problems against the Titans. I think they're on like a hot streak against them. I don't know how many in a row, but it's been a while since the Colts have actually beaten the Titans. And with the rookie quarterback and how physical they are, I am going to take the Titans. So I'm taking the Titans to win. I'm going to lay the points, and I'm going to have that under. So yeah, same as you so far, except for the Bills and Jags game.
Hello.
Then we got the Texans at the Falcons. Both teams going in opposite directions. The Falcons started 2-0, and now they're back to 2-2. and the Texans started 0-2, and they've been red hot, scoring points and playing defense, and they're at 2-2. Falcons are favored by 1.5, so basically a pick 'em, and the over/under is 41.5.
Yeah, I'm going to take the under. I don't think it's going to be a high-scoring game, even though it looks like the Texans' offense has really broke out. But this Falcons' pass defense is damn good. They still got a bunch of pieces there. I think they're going to rattle C.J. Stroud a little bit, even though C.J. Stroud looks unbelievable. I'm not trying to take anything away from him. I'm doing too much explaining. Just give me the under in this game, and I will take the Falcons in this one, believe it or not.
I'm going to do the same, except I'm going to have the over. I think Falcons just need a little home cooking, go back to Atlanta. And C.J. Stroud has played well, but I think he's actually going to throw his first interception this weekend. Maybe to Jesse Bates, who has tied for like the league lead right now. And I see some points being scored by the Falcons and Texans. So I'm going to go over on the 41.5. Then we got the Giants at the Miami Dolphins. Wink Martindale can't sleep because he doesn't know how to defend this Dolphin team. Brian Dable's throwing tablets at Daniel Jones. It's all bad. And they're 12.5-point underdogs, with Miami being the favorite, and the over/under is 47.5.
I went back and forth on this. Just give me the over and lay the points with the Dolphins. I think they're coming back from that beatdown over the Bills and have a point to prove.
Dolphins have something to prove as well, but I think the Giants have more to prove. I'm going to take the over. Miami wins, but that 12.5, I think it's going to be a little closer than that. I'm going to take the Giants to cover there. Then we got the New Orleans Saints at the New England Patriots. Both teams struggling offensively right now. Patriots really struggling offensively. Derek Carr, I watched back some of that game again against the Buccaneers. He did throw downfield. I don't know what the hell was going on with him, though. 13 receptions to Alvin Kamara for no big significant yardage is insane. The Patriots are 1-point favorites, so basically a pick 'em, and the over/under is 39.5.
No Christian Gonzalez, no Matthew Judon. Patriots defense won't be the same. Give me the over. I actually think the Saints break out in this one, and I'll take New Orleans to win.
This may just be the matchup of the defensive coordinator against the quarterback. I don't see Derek Carr beating a new Bill Belichick defense. Oh, shit. Damn it.
What? What happened?
It's official. Texas loses.
Oh.
There goes our season. Anyway, I'm taking the Patriots to win because I just don't have faith in Derek Carr figuring things out against a Bill Belichick defense. That's just what it is.
I was reading the red zone numbers for the Saints too. They're like dead last in the league in terms of scoring in the red zone. I'm like, where have we seen that before?
Yep.
Derek Carr's just not good inside the 20.
He's not, and I could, even with all the injuries that the Patriots have, I could still see Belichick scheming it up and stifling him defensively. So I'm going to take the Patriots to win, and I'm 39.5. I'm still going to go under. I think it's going to be a really, really, really low-scoring game with even the Saints maybe not scoring a touchdown. Then we got the Baltimore Ravens at the Pittsburgh Steelers. Kenny Pickett got hurt last week against the Texans, but it sounds like he's going to play against the Ravens. Sounds like Odell's going to be back, too, for the Ravens. And the over-under is 38, and the Baltimore Ravens are road favorites at 4.5.
Yeah, this is one that's tough because if you go back and look into history, this game almost always hits the under, like damn near every single time. I don't think they've scored like over 35 in a really long time. Like you just go down the list. It's awful. So I'm still inclined to do that. I'm going to go with the trend. I'll take the under in this one, and then I'll have the Ravens winning, but the Steelers covering.
Sorry, say it again. I just still
hit the under. Hit the under. Ravens win. Steelers cover.
Got it. I am going to take the Steelers to win. I think that they just need a little pick-me-up, and they're going to play good defense at home. There really is no rhyme or reason to this. I just think that coming off 2 straight losses and Mike Tomlin saying we got to change things, I'm not going to fire Matt Canada. I know a lot of people want that. But I think they just figure things out at home. They shut down Lamar Jackson, their running game. They defend the pass well, and Kenny Pickett just finds a way to get shit done, even though their offense doesn't look good. So this is my least confident pick of the week, but I'm going to take the Steelers to win, and I'm going to go with that. I'm going to go over. I'm going to go over.
Wow.
Yeah. Over the 38.
All right. Oh, and Marlon Humphrey is making his comeback. How about that?
Oh, Jesus.
That
Nothing in
might
my
change-
nothing in my favor in this selection of mine.
Will that change you up a little bit? You know, you can change it up.
No, I'm good. I'll
right.
stick with the Steelers. Cincinnati at Arizona. Both teams are 1-3. T. Higgins out for the Bengals, and Joe Burrow says that he suffered a setback a couple weeks ago. His calf feels as best as it has since he injured it. So who knows? But they are 3-point favorites, those Bengals, and the over-under is 44.5.
That Arizona defensive line just not good against the 49ers last week. I'm going to have the Bengals break out, give me the over, and lay the points with Cincy.
I'm taking the Bengals to win as well. I think it will be I think this is the finally the game where Joe Burrow finds his rhythm with Jamar Chase. Even though there is no T. Higgins, they find a balance with the running game, and they find a way to get Jamar Chase the football, and they win the game. But I'm going to go under. So lay the points with the Bengals, but go under on the 44.5. Then we got, this game was sexy during training camp. The Jets at the Denver Broncos. This was supposed to be Aaron Rodgers defending the honor of Nathaniel Hackett with Sean Payton.
Yeah.
Nevertheless, we get the 1-3 Denver Broncos against the 1-3 Jets with Zach Wilson playing quarterback for the Jets. Will Nathaniel Hackett defend his own honor with having Zach Wilson play well? The Broncos are 2.5-point favorites, and the over-under is 43.5.
Give me the over. Jets win.
I like it.
Yeah.
Just because of Zach Wilson last week?
No, I think part of that, but also another part of it is because I think the football gods are just cruel, and I think they're going to strike vengeance upon that is Sean Payton for what he said about Nathaniel Hackett, and for the fact that he gave up 70 already this season. Now that you may have thought that's when karma caught up to him. No, karma's going to catch up to him here week 5.
I'm with you, Steven. I think that the Jets got to win a game at some point, and this is actually a revenge game also for Breece Hall because he tore his ACL a year ago in Denver.
Oh,
so
good call.
Broncos offensively have kind of picked things up in recent weeks, but I think the Jets defense could shut him down. I think if Zach Wilson just plays good complimentary football, then they'll be fine. So
right.
I'm going to take the Jets, but I'm going to go under. I think it's going to be a really low-scoring game. Then we got – this is actually a good one. The last two NFC champions facing off each other, the Philadelphia Eagles at the Los Angeles Rams. Cooper Kupp coming back. So now you got a Cooper Kupp, Puka Nacua combination that they'll figure out how to use both of them, even though they're both slot guys. Matthew Stafford battling injury, kind of a bruised hip, I want to say, was his injury this week. But he's going to give it a go. But Fletcher Cox for the Eagles is not going to be out there. The Eagles are 4.5-point favorites, and the over-under is 50.5.
It's a big over, man, or over-under. It's huge. I want to take the under just because it's such a big number, but I'm going to take the over. I think it could be a very high-scoring game here, especially with the way that the Rams, their passing game just can dice up a defense, and the Eagles' passing game is just looked out of sorts right now. They're certainly going to just use a lot of quick rhythm passes. I think they can really put up some points. With the Eagles, I still don't know what to make of their offense yet. The Rams' defense has actually been pretty good this year, and when the last time these two teams played?
When Carson Wentz tore his ACL?
I don't know. It was in 2020, though.
Oh. No, yeah. I vaguely remember that game. I think the Rams just kicked their ass.
I don't remember, but I think the Rams hand the Eagles their first loss of the season.
Wow.
So give me the Rams.
I like that, but I don't know if I'm going to go that bold yet. I'm going to take the Eagles to win, but I'm going to take the Rams to cover. And I'm going to go over because with Fletcher Cox out, this Eagles defense hasn't been spectacular.
Yeah.
They did sign Bradley Roby to help out with their pass defense, but I think they're going to struggle, and it's just going to be a shootout. And in the end, the Eagles get by the skin of their teeth, and they just keep coasting to a 5-0 record despite them not playing fantastic football.
I think it's going to be a really good game.
I think so too. This one actually could be sneaky good too, even though the record's not great for the Vikings. KC at Minnesota, they're favored by 3.5. The Chiefs, and the over/under is 52.5.
The Chiefs, I think, have figured out Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins in his career against Kansas City is 0-3 with a completion percentage of 51. That's the lowest completion percentage he's had against.
How often have they played each other though?
3 times. So
when was the last time?
I don't know. Really small sample size though. So give me the under. Lay the points with Kansas City.
I'm gonna go over. I think both offenses light it up, but in the end, 3.5's too low for me. So I'm gonna take KC to win, and I'm gonna lay the points with them. And then we got the game of the football season. Honestly, Dallas Cowboys at the San Francisco 49ers. Been hyped up all week. Obviously, the rivalry between the two that dates back to the 70s. This rivalry kind of has stood the test of time. It's never gotten old. Here or there when both teams were bad, but it's back again. Obviously, the Cowboys coming off 2 straight playoff losses to the 49ers. And trying to think of any significant injury stuff this week, but I don't think there is. I think both teams are healthy for the most part, with the exception of the Cowboys losing Trayvon Diggs for the remainder of the season. But Niners come in with a 3.5 3.5 point favorites, and the over/under is 45.
I think the 49ers get this done. I'm going to lay the points with them, and normally I'd take the under in this because of their last 2 playoff matchups. I think the first one was 23-17, and the second one was 19-12, but I don't think this is going to be similar to that. I think these offenses can get going. A lot of fireworks in this one at Levi's Stadium at Santa Clara, even though there probably are going to be fireworks because it's Sunday Night Football. But yeah, lay the points with the 49ers, and give me the over.
I've gone back and forth on this one.
Yeah.
But I think, I don't know why, but for whatever reason, I think this is the first game we see where Brock Purdy struggles. And I think that Micah Parsons is going to get to him a little bit, even though I like the matchup with Trent Williams on him, but he's going to move around. I don't think them losing Trayvon Diggs will hurt them that much, to be completely honest. I think they have a good defensive front, and against my better judgment, I'm going to take the Dallas Cowboys to win, and I'm going to go under on the over/under. Yep. And then last one. Green Bay Packers at the Las Vegas Raiders. Don't know about Aaron Jones. Jimmy Garoppolo, it sounds like he has passed concussion protocol and will play on Monday. Devontae Adams playing against his old team. The Vegas Raiders are 1.5 point favorites, and the over/under is 44.5.
The Raiders do this every year, right? There's going to be a couple of losses where you're just completely out on them, and then all of a sudden they get back in it. And I think they're going to do that against Green Bay. I'm going to take the Raiders to win. I'll lay the points with them. And Aaron Jones being questionable is like the main reason for that, because if Aaron Jones was fully healthy, then I'd say an Aaron Jones breakout game incoming, because that's what happened against the Raiders. Yeah, give me the over, and I'll take the Raiders. Lay the points.
Yeah, I'm with you, Steven. I think that even though I kind of hate this whole scheduling thing where the Packers are coming off a Thursday night loss to the Lions, so they've had 12 days to prepare for this thing, and the Raiders only have 7 or 8, but whatever. I'm with you. I think that if this was Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams against the Raiders, I would take them every time. But with Jordan Love and Aaron Jones being questionable and the Raiders needing to prove themselves after 3 straight stinkers, I think the Raiders get it done, and I'm going to take them to win, lay the points, but I'm going to go under. I think it's going to be low scoring.
Man, I went back and watched the tape, so to speak, of the Raiders and Chargers, and I think my main takeaway is, we talked so much about the offenses in that game and the coaching and just the wrong decisions that were being made, but really what kept the Raiders in that game, why they were in that game, because of all the turnovers and after everything with Aiden O'Connell, the reason they were in that game was because of Max Crosby. That dude was all over the field. Every single drive. He was the one just doing everything for that defense. So just wanted to give him the props for that because we didn't talk about him really at all when we did the breakdown of it. And because it's like everything that Brandon Staley did, it's like, how can you not talk about the coaching decisions and what they did? But man, going back and watching it, Max Crosby was just a monster.
No, he had a great performance, but yeah, the offensive line needs to play better, and they need to figure things out with the running game, and
they need
just
some help outside on the opposite end of Max Crosby, because eventually teams are just going to start running away from him.
yeah, Tyree Wilson has struggled to say the least so far, but I don't know, man. We'll see where the season goes with the Raiders. We do our overreactions. We haven't done them yet.
Nah, well, I mean, it's kind of past that. We just made our week 5 picks.
No, but we, it's let me see what you got, Steven. Let me hear it.
Okay. One of them, Bears are better than the Raiders.
That's an overreaction.
You think that's an overreaction?
Yeah, I think so.
Really?
It's hard to tell right now. I can't say one is better than the other.
Okay.
What do you think?
I do not. I do not. As a team, I don't think the Bears are very good. I think they have a better quarterback. I think Justin Fields is better than Jimmy Garoppolo and Aiden O'Connell. I'll take Justin Fields over them. I really would.
Jury's still out. Jury's still out for me.
I just think the Bears team stinks in general. So.
Yeah, but they got. I mean, they obviously got playmakers and DJ Moore. They could. I think they'll avoid being the worst team in football at the end of the year. How about that? I'll put that on record.
Okay. Mac Jones, worst quarterback in the league.
We're starting quarterback in the league?
Yes.
That's an overreaction. I can't say who is, but I don't think he's the worst.
I mean, I like Josh Dobbs more. I like Justin Fields more. I'm just taking all these teams at the bottom. I mean, maybe it might be a battle between him and Desmond Ridder right now, honestly. Like, Desmond Ritter's not any good. Who else? I mean, we could put Zach Wilson up there, but is Zach Wilson up there?
That's debatable. I think Zach Wilson and Mac Jones are in the same tier right now.
Yeah.
So I think it's an overreaction. I can't say he's definitively the worst quarterback.
I think he is. I think he is. When you go down the list of every team, I think he is.
Yeah, but do you think it's really him?
I think so.
So why do you say that with Justin Fields, but not with Mac Jones?
Because Mac Jones at least has Bill Belichick and Bill O'Brien, two guys who are meant to be damn good coaches in this league, and for some reason he's not figuring it out.
They've also played really. I mean, like that Dallas team's kind of stacked defensively.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can't say he is.
Okay, and I got one more. Well, yeah. I mean, I have like 8 or 9, but I'm just gonna narrow it down to 3 because the other ones, whatever. It's worth the $70 million in dead cap money for the Giants to cut Daniel Jones
and play with Tyrod Taylor. Yeah, no, that's definitely not worth it.
God, man, the $40 million a year thing, the contract is being brought up, but we talked about that last week. It's just for the going rate of quarterback, sure, it's expensive, but the Giants were in a situation where it's like, all right, well, we either pay our guy or we start from scratch. What do you want to do after we just made it to the playoffs? So,
just some updates here. Jahmyr Gibbs doubtful for Sunday's game. We never talked about this. Raiders should cut Jerry Tillery after that shit he pulled last weekend.
Oh yeah,
because he's just out for himself. That guy just wants to get back at the Chargers. I remember a year ago it was the same deal. He's been fined $10,000. Whoop-de-doo. I honestly wouldn't even have him on the team anymore.
Yeah.
And Von Miller is officially going to be back tomorrow.
Okay.
Against the Jacksonville Jaguars. Should we do our Jackass of the week?
Oh yeah, of course.
Let's do it. All right, Steven, who you got?
All right. Mine is going to be Russell Wilson. I'm not going to play the sound because it took forever for him to tell the story because it was very, the story had a lot of layers to it. But when Marshawn Lynch spoke to Shannon Sharp.
I know the interview. I played a little bit on the show with Tom and with Adam. And the part that we took from it was he says he, in his words, doesn't fuck with either Pete Carroll or Russell Wilson. But there's more to it, I guess.
Yes, so we knew that Pete Carroll
Yeah.
was favored Russell Wilson over anybody. We knew that because of stories
Well, not
from
lately.
right. But we knew that from stories over like Richard Sherman and what that old defense has said before. So we knew that. There was nothing new there. But when I hear a guy like Marshawn Lynch, who clearly is trying to just be a good teammate, like I kept on seeing the comments, right? The replies to it. It's like, well, their personalities didn't mesh. What do you expect? Um, no, they weren't supposed to hang out off the field. I'm not saying that they needed to go, have drinks together or anything like that. I'm not saying any of that, but Marshawn reached out to Russ and he just wouldn't get back to him. Like he tried to make contact with his quarterback and his quarterback wasn't having any of it. He had to like go through somebody to try and get to him. And he's like, nah, like Russell Wilson just wasn't messing with him at all. And it's like, you got a guy like Marshawn Lynch, who seems to be a very personable guy, a guy you want on your side, and you just don't take his calls. You don't respond to him, even though he knows there's something up, but he's trying to, get a little team camaraderie going. There was one other thing too, where Lynch held a party and then Shannon Sharp started talking about his club Shay Shay, because the reason it's called a club Shay Shay is because that's what he'd call the parties that he would have, I guess, at his house when he was playing. Like he'd invite people over, they'd have like a little football team gathering thing, and it was called Club Shay Shay. But Marshawn did the same thing, and Russell Wilson was like a no-show. So to me, Russell Wilson, you're the jackass of the week because Marshawn Lynch is one of the coolest athletes out there, and you didn't respond to him, man.
Yeah, I always thought it was Russell trying to like be, hey guys, let's all hang out and do stuff, like Richard Sherman and Marshawn Lynch, and it sounds like it was Russ who just didn't. He thought he was better than everybody.
Yeah. And it's just it's no surprise why these things happen with the Broncos. Like, they downplayed it a little bit because Jerry Jeudy tried to go on damage control and basically say him having his own office wasn't such a bad thing. Okay, well, you're the number one wide receiver. You have to talk to him. How about the other guy? How about the backup offensive lineman? Are they allowed in his office? Does he have an open door policy there? I think that's why Sean Payton said that, you're not going to be doing this whole presidential thing where you're going to be kissing babies. You know what I mean? So
You got to be one of the guys.
Hang on, pause. Just looked up at Orioles Rangers. There's a guy dressed in a Lloyd Christmas orange tux at the game. He's like 10 years old. Big respect to that kid. That is amazing to wear when you're playing in Baltimore. That's great. Anyway, yeah, it's just no.
What's the score of that game?
It's 3-1 Texas, top of the sixth, 2 outs, runners on first and second, Rangers at bat. So,
gotcha.
Anyway,
I'll switch over to that.
Yeah, so I was left with a bad taste in my mouth after that. And, I've always kind of been a Russell Wilson. I've been a fan, I've been a fan, but just hearing that, nobody's bigger than the team. Who are you? A professional athlete? Because I think that's going to tie into what you have as your jackass of the week.
Well, honestly, I'm not surprised with anything with Russell Wilson these days because it just seems like he thinks he's bigger than
everybody.
Yeah. So, I'm not surprised by any of that.
Yeah. There was one guy, Nate Tice, who does the Athletic Football Show, used to be the backup quarterback at Wisconsin when Russell was there. He says that Russ could be a president, like he could be the president of the United States. Like he thinks that's what he was going for, literally, when he was in college. I'm like, anyone who thinks they should be the president of the United States when they should be in college, yeah, no wonder.
No, but he has the ability to. He has the traits. He just, throws everybody under the bus. So he definitely could be a president.
Facts.
By the way, so that's the name of Shannon Sharp's podcast is Club Shay Shay.
Club Shay Shay.
He's kind of got like a Bill Maher vibe to his whole setup.
A little bit.
If you ever seen like Club Random, like that's what his whole thing looks like to me. My jackass of the week is Evan Neal for the comments he made about the New York Giants fans. He's a young player, still could be a great player.
First round pick.
Yep. I think he'll be a fantastic player in this league. It just takes time to figure things out. But his comments were out of bounds. Now, he apologized and he took everything back. But just for the week, he's a jackass. But he'll learn from it. I have no doubts about that. But my dude on WFAN, Michael K's co-host. What's his name?
Don LaGreca.
This is fantastic audio. And honestly, I don't even think Evan Neal was that much of a jackass. This was just an excuse to play this audio. So let's hear it.
Yes. So just to let everyone in on that, they read the article first because it came from like NJ.com or whatever. So he read his comments, Don LaGreca did, and then he went off. This is after Evan Neal basically said that you be flipping hot dogs or whatever, flipping hamburgers and cooking hot dogs.
His quote was something along the lines of, "Why, when I'm a lion, would I care about the sheep?"
Yes.
You all of you just flip hamburgers. You don't play football for a living, so why would I give a shit about what you guys think? And this is Don LaGreca's response.
Dogs and hamburgers somewhere? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? I'd cut his ass. I would. How dare you? How dare you? These people pay your salary. They pay an obnoxious amount of money to park, an obnoxious amount of money for PSLs to sit there and watch this pap, and you call them hamburger flippers? What, you're so much better? I'd rather have a guy that's flipping hamburgers block than your piece of garbage ass. Who the hell are you to talk to fans like that? You piece of garbage. I hate when players do that. You're not above us. What, because you happen to play a sport? You make them, you're better than me. You're better than the people that pay your salary. These Giant fans were here before you, and they'll be here after your sorry ass is cut. What a piece of human trash. And I don't want to hear some apology. I don't want to hear, oh, I was taken out of context. I didn't mean, I don't want to hear, done. I would cut his fat ass. Oh, if I'm John Mara, I call him into the office and say, you were a first-round pick, but you're not worth anything. You don't talk to our fans that way. You don't talk to me that way. You are out of a job. You should boo him. If you see him in the mall at Willowbrook, boo his ass. If you see him on the DMV, boo him. Don't stop booing him. If he goes to the Pro Bowl, boo him. If he wins a Super Bowl, boo his sorry ass. Screw that guy. I mean, that angers me. We're not nobody. Flipping, but how do you condescend to people that pay to watch you play? Poorly, I might add.
Really bad.
All right.
First off, my man Don LaGreca. That's his name, Don?
Don LaGreca, yeah.
Yeah. He could definitely enter in a Michael McDonald lookalike contest.
100%.
Minute by minute. He got so mad. Yamo going to burn this place to the ground. Can I switch to him being the jackass of the week? That was a little much. And I know, like, he's on Sports Talk Radio, and that's how New York media talks sometime. I get he's upset. Evan Neal's comments were out of bounds. That was insane. That whole thing was insane.
That's amazing. Can I play one more? Because
Sure.
I actually I got this one saved. It's in my favorites. Let me see if I could share here. You get my window. Yeah, I'll share that. Okay, we're in my window.
Whoa.
Sorry.
Oh my God. You can look at the different universes.
All right. Do you have that?
I see all of our chat.
Oh, crap. All right.
It was like, it was different time portals.
Damn it. All right. Never mind. Can't work.
What are you trying to do?
I was trying to, I got a video saved in my photos folder. And it's of Don LaGreca going off on a fan, but I guess I can't really play it. I tried sharing the screen and it
so it was a just the opposite of where he calls out a fan.
Yes, where a listener called in and he went off on this listener, and it was really, really funny. Maybe I'll play it next time. But Don LaGreca is known for those rants, dude. Just a legend.
Good for him.
Yeah, so good.
It's a way to get people to listen. Unrelated to Jackass of the Week, we get just good audio in the pull-up game here. Did you listen to Mariners GM Jerry DiPoto's comments this week?
I did not, actually. And let me pull those up because I do not have a link to it.
I personally think they're interesting. So when you find it, let me know. We'll play it, and then I want to get your reaction to what he said, because I have a different take than what I think most people do.
Okay. I am trying to find this. Okay. All right. Hang on. I got it. Give me a sec.
All right.
I'll be right there.
All right.
It's coming. All right. Here we go. This one, right?
Yep.
If you go back and you look in a decade, those teams that win 54% of the time always wind up in the postseason, and they more often than not wind up in World Series. So there's your bigger picture process. Nobody wants to hear the goal this year is we're going to win 54% of the time, because sometimes 54% is some one year you're going to win 60%, another year you're going to win 50%. It's whatever it is. But over time, that type of mindset gets you there. If what you're doing is focusing year to year on what do we have to do to win the World Series this year, you might be one of the teams that's laying in the mud and can't get up for another decade. So we're actually doing the fan base a favor and asking for their patience to win the World Series while we continue to build a sustainably good roster.
Your thoughts?
Well, no, you go first. You're the one that brought it up.
I think I respect his honesty, even though it's not something fans want to hear. I prefer that, honestly, than just saying, well, we're trying to win every year. If a GM comes out and says, to be honest, we're not trying to win, guys. Like, this is, if we get wins in the process, fantastic. But this is our 10-year plan to make us better. I respect that a hell of a lot more than, teams that are obviously tanking, just being like, oh, we're trying to win. We're trying to, sometimes you got to say things that the fan base doesn't want to hear. And I know that the Mariners shit the bed towards the end of the season. They didn't make the playoffs. So this is him kind of saving his ass. But I think if more GMs and coaches talk this way, fans will be pissed. Don't get me wrong. They would. Like if Farhan comes out and says, we're not trying to win this season, then Giants
Dude, if
fans will lose.
Farhan came out and said this, if Farhan came out and said,
I know, but I would respect the hell out of
it. I don't know what to make of that. I personally wouldn't want a GM saying we're trying to win just over half of our games. I wouldn't want that.
I understand that. I completely understand that.
That's where I'd be from a Mariners fan standpoint, especially considering their lack of postseason success over the years. And it's like, really, this is the mentality that we're going to have? We're going to win over 54%. Well, it's a success anyway. You missed the postseason, dude. And you won 88 games. So more often than not, it doesn't happen. I don't know where he's getting at with those comments. I don't get it.
I totally get that. I would prefer, like, let's just say like Mike Dunleavy and Steve Kerr come out and say like, what's our goal this season? Well, we want to win, but we've won in the past too. And the reality is we're just trying to grow this team. The real reason we have Chris Paul on this roster is because we needed Jordan Poole's contract off the books. That's why we did this deal. Is it a better move? We don't know, but we're going to find out.
Yeah.
It's not so much what Jerry Dipoto is saying. I just respect the honesty. And I wish that more people in higher positions in sports talk that way, so that, like, I think Daryl Morey did when he was the GM of not Daryl Morey, but whoever the original general manager was of the 76ers, and trust the process. The reality was they had to lose for them to win. And I know people don't want to hear that, and fan bases are like, we got to win now. But I think if Josh McDaniels and Dave Ziegler were honest, they come out and say, we need to retool the whole franchise. We got this team, and we thought Derek Carr was going to be good, and he's not good in our system, so we're going to get guys that we trust from the Patriot days. And if it works, cool. If it doesn't, then we'll redo the whole thing again. And I know fans don't want to hear that shit, but I respect that stuff when it comes to just being point blank honest and what the expectations are.
Yeah, but you're not a fan of any of those teams.
I know that's why I totally understand.
Yeah.
If Mariners fans want to kill this guy, go for it. But I respect the honesty.
All right. I'd be very interested to hear what Giants fans' reactions would be if Farhan said that, because it's already bad enough. He didn't help himself at all with the press conference. And with Jerry Dipoto, I also don't want to make any assumptions based on a 50-second clip. Who knows how long that press conference was? And it even switched over at one point in time. I don't know how the flow of the press conference was. Maybe he said something that I think he should have said in that clip. Maybe he said something earlier. I don't want to make any sweeping judgments on that. But when I watched that entire 43-minute presser of Farhan, explaining everything that happened this season, not exactly inspiring confidence. He didn't seem to take much accountability with how things had gone this year. And then I don't know. I'm switching it to the Giants, but the Andrew Baggarly piece that followed, where he took a lovely subtle shot at anyone who didn't maybe show up to the games as a media member. Shout out to Baggarly for mentioning that. Jesus. But I don't know if you saw that, but he's just like, oh, the gluttons who didn't come to a single game this season, but still wanted to ask Farhan a question. We're all around at the press conference. He decided to take a little jab at anyone who was there. But when he said something to the effect of, yeah, whenever free agents came here, the meetings with Farhan and Kapler were awkward. And I think stilted was another term that Baggarly used in that situation. And then you hear that, and then you read that he's got a bunch of computers, basically, instead of a actual clubhouse, it's like a science lab in there. You got a bunch of computers everywhere with however tens and tens of freaking scientists, literal scientists actually making decisions there. It can't be a very welcoming environment under Farhan when you're there. It's like, do I really want to play baseball? Like, do I really want to play baseball for this team if they're looking at me that analytically instead of looking for me who I am as a player? I also very curious though with free agent recruitment and who they get as their manager. When Farhan said the thing that stood out to me, besides his really terrible analogy from the Bear, I'm like, good Lord, man, like from the Bear, even that chef, when he went back to the Michelin star restaurant back to the Chicago Beef Company or whatever it's called, even when he went back to the Bear restaurant, he started using his gut instincts as well as what he learned in the Michelin star restaurant. So don't use that analogy. I would have pushed back on him with that. But
well, why weren't you there to ask the questions, Steven?
I should have been, but I was busy. All right.
Was Larry Krueger there?
I don't think so.
That was a fun back and forth with him and Bags. I'll tell you
that would have been something. No, I think that the thing that stood out to me is when he said like what we're looking for in a next manager. We need him to be an effective recruiter. I'm like, God, man, did Kapler really not resonate with some of these players? Like when you met with Kapler, they're probably looking at him maybe a little intimidated. It's just like, this guy thinks he's smarter than me. You know, like that kind of thing. I don't know what he gives off. I don't know the kind of vibe that he gives off, but
I don't know, man. It'll be interesting this offseason.
Yeah.
I think that fans have a right to be questioning Farhan right now, but I don't know. I really have no answers when it comes to the Giants at this point, but I do know that Bob Melvin's not going to be the manager. I know a lot of people were banking on that he would leave the Padres, but like I said, I think it's hard to walk away from the situation of the Padres and think the Giants is a better situation.
Yeah. It's gonna be another one, and if they can pick up Yoshinobu Yamamoto, I think some Giants fans will be like, huh, maybe it was Gabe Kapler who was the recruiter problem because that guy's a beast. I don't know if you watched the highlights.
I don't think that's fair.
Oh.
I'll say that. I think it's Greg Johnson and the owners not wanting to spend the money for whatever reason, and that's why they pulled out of the Carlos Correa deal. That's why they may not be in on Shohei Ohtani. They just don't want to spend a shit ton of money on one guy. So I don't think it's Farhan's fault. I don't think it's Gabe's fault. I think it's the Johnsons.
Okay.
Lastly here, a little fun clip. We've heard the old wise tale, I guess, of Al Michaels.
The
old wise tale. That everyone hears this story that Al Michaels has never eaten a vegetable in his life, and I've heard him comment on this before. But he sat down with CNN's Chris Wallace,
yes,
and went into detail about why he claims he has never knowingly eaten a vegetable in his life.
Is it true that you have never knowingly eaten a vegetable in your life?
That is true.
That is true.
I was born when my parents were 18 and my mother hadn't even read Dr. Spock at that point. So she just let me have the run of the course. And I always pushed the vegetables away. To this day, no. And I guess what I've proven, Chris, is that man does not need vegetables to survive.
But is it just possible that you would like, I'm thinking of one of the more non-objectionable vegetables. A carrot.
Oh, please. Please.
A carrot?
No, I can't. No, that's an objectionable vegetable.
I mean, really? What? I mean, how would you know? You've never tasted it.
I look at it. I just don't even like the look of it. And I surmise what it might taste like in terms of the texture of it. I think a lot of it probably has to do, it just doesn't look like something that would go down well.
It's funny he says that, because with the amount of non-vegetables he has in his life, I don't think anything would go down well for him. His colon's probably terrible.
Dude, the whole, like, that's what the point of vegetables are. You know, it's to keep you healthy and all that, but vegetables have fiber. Fiber helps you poop. Oh,
yeah.
He's never had a floating poop in his life.
No,
that's all the thing.
Dip dots.
In 78 years, no, yeah, it's all Dippin' Dots. It's like little pebbles.
Know that feeling. Definitely know that feeling. But no, dude, you need carrots. Carrots help you with your eyesight. Case in point, Al, when you screw up a call and think it's Veterans Stadium and not Lincoln Financial Stadium, you could see in front of the stadium that's the wrong name of the stadium.
I think that the
vegetables have held him back in his broadcasting career. I'm kidding.
Do you believe in vegetables?
He's definitely one of the best all time. He's just been slipping the last couple of years, but hey, kudos to him, man. He's, I think, in his late 70s and still on TV and survive without vegetables. Good for him.
Yeah, that also proves that he's never cooked in his life either.
That's probably the case too.
Because when you cook, I mean, you don't always have to eat vegetables, but there's times when certain vegetables do help with the flavor of the certain product. Like, say, an onion. An onion's a vegetable, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And you cook things with onions. Is garlic a vegetable?
You never had corn before?
Corn's a good one.
One of my favorite meals, and it's healthy: steak, rice, corn.
Is garlic a vegetable? Or is that just a root? It's just a root. Botanically a vegetable.
Oh.
So there's certain things that he's definitely had. Knowingly is the key word there. All right. So
yeah,
I'm calling had that.
I'm calling bullshit.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't think he would be as good of good health if he did not eat a vegetable from time to time.
Chris Wallace really should have pressed him on that. You know, like, don't just go, what, with just carrots? You're going to go with carrots? I've always heard that from Al Michaels. Carrots. Did they set that up? Because he's never been asked about anything else. How about onions? You ever had an onion? Never had a little onion? No? Never had a little onion?
See, that's the thing. Maybe he just gets a cheeseburger and doesn't know that there's onions on it.
Never had a burrito? Burritos even sometimes have vegetables, don't they? No, not really.
Lettuce?
I guess. Damn! Orioles just made a huge play. Yeah. I don't believe it. I don't buy it.
All right. Got anything else, Steven?
I got nothing, man.
All right, then.
I'm just looking forward to the Warriors season. That's all.
More than anything?
Yeah, just about. I mean, you know, what do you want me to say?
I don't know. It's way early for that. Even when it starts, I'm not into it.
I'm looking forward to it. I don't know. I enjoy basketball. I think they've got the most interesting cast of characters as far as athletes more than any other sport.
Oh, as far as the NBA itself?
Yeah, just personalities, man. You got guys like Jimmy Butler, Kevin Durant's kind of his own self. You know, you got Draymond, obviously, and then you got Anthony Edwards, and you got, I mean, you know, I'm not gonna say Ja Morant, but you got different guys with different personalities. I don't know. I just think it's more when the season gets rolling, I think there's more to reveal during the season as opposed to in football when everyone's just always doing damage control over certain situations.
I mean, there is more personality in the NBA. I'll say that, but I just don't think it's interesting. You say there's all these great personalities, but the problem is these guys aren't playing, and I don't think this rule is going to change anything, to be honest.
I think it will.
I think it's going to limit nationally televised games of when guys play or don't play. But Kawhi Leonard's like, the league is going to dictate whether or not I'm healthy or not. I'm not healthy. So I think it's just going to limit load management. But I think we're still going to have, you know, the interest level, I think, is still not going to be there. I think that this in-season tournament sucks. And it may be cool. I may change my tune on that, but I think it's really weird. But as far as personalities, I love Jimmy Butler doing the whole emo thing. And every time we see his profile picture during a game now with highlights and stats, it'll be him in that ridiculous outfit.
Yeah. All right. Which was your which one do you like? Do you like Himmy Eat World? Or did you like what was the other one that I saw?
It was Himmy World or I there was another one. I forget it though. They're all
Himmy
funny.
World.
They're all funny in the moment.
They're great.
Yeah, the I'm him thing, Himmy, like they on Monday Night Football Countdown, Monday Night Countdown, where they do the Himmy Award. I'm sorry, but when TV people try to do like lingo that the kids are doing, that's why I hate when people say "goat" on TV or "he's him." People sound stupid. They do. Tell me I'm wrong.
No, you're not wrong.
All right, thank you. That's just my opinion, man. Thanks everybody listening and watching. Thanks to the Ernies. Thanks to everybody in the chat. We appreciate it as always. We'll be back on Tuesday to react to Week 5. And everybody have a good weekend. Enjoy the games. Steven, see you Tuesday. Say what you always say.
It's just our opinion, man.